It's too late to cry after a captured bird escaped from the cage. We're in that situation regarding brain drain in the health sector. The Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, is lamenting that about 50 medical doctors leave Nigeria weekly, 50 weekly, in search of the proverbial greener pasture abroad. Speaking at a function in Abia, the National President of NMA, Rowland Ojinmah, lamented the poor working conditions of doctors in Nigeria and challenged governments at all levels to fix hospitals if the trend is to be reversed. Jide, we've been on this case, and the most affected sector is the Nigerian Medical Association, as in doctors, NMA, both residents and specialists. They are all potting. The next
today there are more than 10,000
to jackpot.
There are more than 10,000 Nigerian doctors licensed in the UK. More than 10,000.
More than 10,000 Nigerian doctors licensed in the UK.
Everybody, they are rushing to the UK. Even in 2020, during the time of COVID, when they were not hiring foreign doctors, more than 700 still left Nigeria for the UK.
And when it was dangerous to move.
So between 2016 and 18, we lost 9,000 medical doctors to the UK, the US, and Canada. The statistics are really frightening. In 2021, 932 doctors moved to the UK. Whereas when this thing just started, it was just like 200 in a whole year. Well, you have seen an incremental migration to the UK by our medical personnel. Now, even nurses and midwives, they want them over there. They are highly sought after over there. More and more Nigerian nurses and midwives are also moving outside of our country. What the NMA just said, that 50 are leaving every week.
Every week.
It should bother us. You know why it should bother us? The medical colleges in our country put together, including the private ones. There are some good private medical colleges in our country, including the one in Ekiti, owned by that old man. They produce, on the average, between 3,000 to 3,500 a year.
And the one from government schools, they're highly subsidized.
Yeah, it's easy to train them. You know, it's cheap to train medical doctors here, but they are good. But my concern is, if we are churning out 3,000 to 3,500 a year, the figures will not always be the same in a given year. And more than 900 will leave for UK alone in 1 year.
Even from this figure, it means 200 living. It means 200 living every month.
Yes.
Times 12, that's 2,000.
No, that is the thing. There was a particular survey that I saw that showed over 200 left in a year. Let me see. Okay. Between December 2021 and May 2022, 727 Nigerian doctors left for the UK alone. You know, by the time we talk about the US, we talk about Canada. We talk about
Saudi Arabia,
UAE, or even Australia. Some of them are going as far as Australia.
Qatar also.
So it's just a frightening reality that we are facing. You are bringing out these people, but they don't want to work here. There was another survey that showed that 8 out of 10 medical doctors, fresh people who just got their MBBS, that they interviewed, 8 out of 10 said they don't want to work in Nigeria. So this is how bad it is. And we just cannot, the base salary, when you get to the UK, the base salary is £4,000. And pounds is around 880 now. Abi?
Yes.
Around 880 to
so 4,000 pounds will give you a month. That will give you over 2-3 million.
For 3.2.
3.3 million.
Who has that here in
3.3 million a month.
So why would they want to stay? The opportunities for improvement of their lives are over there, even for research and to get better, to be more knowledgeable on your job. A lot of them is not simply about the money, just career advancement. They want
security.
Yes. There are many reasons why people are leaving our country.
Future.
Even in TVC here, many people are planning to jackpot now.
And the number of people that have jackpot already.
Yes. Some are just waiting. They are biding their time. They are waiting. They are just waiting. In the new year, you may see more people move. In my department alone, 3 persons now have gone to the UK to study. In my department alone. And it happened within a short time. I've not replaced them. You understand?
Succession.
And I know even technical, other different people have left. It's a national problem. But we should be worried about the delivery of healthcare services.
I'm telling you.
If doctors are living
I'm telling you. And if you see how much these people are raising to leave the country, we are talking in the region of 8-10 million.
Yes,
for the family to leave the country.
One of the areas
to pay school fees.
We should also be concerned about, from what I heard, in the banking sector, IT guys are leaving now in droves.
That's why a particular bank, a particular bank that you mentioned one time,
yes,
every Friday they have problem. They just network failure. I don't want to mention.
But do you know that?
Do you know why they say they are IT guys? They are living in droves. They have problems with their IT. Throughout the weekend, you can't do transfer, you can't withdraw, you can't do anything in that bank. Top-rate bank.
They go there and they went and
they are having problem with their IT guys.
There were so many that they set up a WhatsApp platform for themselves in Canada. And more of them, without communication and the rest.
I was even told one of the things that the banks are doing now is to tell these guys, if we could work during COVID remotely, wherever you go, work for us remotely.
Wow.
Meaning that those who are controlling our systems here are in the UK for them. And in Canada.
Instead of allowing the thing to collapse on their heads.
On their head. So it's even dangerous, because if these guys get into those countries and they decide to tamper with the system here, then the bank is finished. But that's as far as they can go, because you can't buy experience from the market. These guys have the experience, and they are taking it out. They are sought after. The doctors, we are now told, we have 24,000 to 200 million Nigerians.
And if care is not taken,
it's not
24,000
worst
doctors
rate in the world.
Over 200 million Nigerians.
The youth around there, they've lost confidence in any form of government in Nigeria right now. And it's difficult for you to just tell them that this is what you want to hear just because of what they've seen so far.
It's
not encouraging at all.
I was addressing students in Unilag yesterday, and it's the same point that I was making that look, don't be apolitical. Get involved in politics. People like Awolowo, Zik, they got into politics so early in their lives. There are some people who are part of the NEPU era politics. They are still alive today. People like people like Tanko Yaka said they were in NEPU now. They are still alive. And during their time, they got into politics early. They were in their 20s. They were already in politics. People like Bola Ige, they were in their 20s when they got into politics. Yes, so nothing stops them from also showing interest, because I can see that they've lost interest. Don't even talk to them about. They believe that the country is
gone.
Yes, that the country is gone. That there's no hope for them, and they keep saying, "Oh, the elderly people, they don't want to leave the scene. How can the youth be brought into the picture?" It's just. If it continues like this, even these figures will double.
Honestly, people are going to Cyprus, people are going to Turkey, people are going to.
They don't want to stay here.
Countries that you can't believe. Republic of Benin, people are going there.
Vietnam,
Ghana, Vietnam. What do you want to
Cambodia, Nigerians are there.
Cambodia.